What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing our very first video, so this should be pretty exciting. This is our actual first video. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. Fuck you. Today's video, we're going to be doing the top 10 worst zombies perks. Yes, there are 10 of them. This is Treyarch only, though, so, you know, if you're like, rip into World War II as much as possible, fuck you. Basically, the only reason why it's Treyarch perks is because there isn't really enough variation. In the other iterations of zombies, you have Juggernaut equivalents. You have Tough Enough, you have whatever the fuck World War II did, Exo Health, fuck Exo Zombies. If you want to see a rant on Exo Zombies, just let me know. So anyways, guys, this is the top 10 worst Treyarch perks. Let's get started. Coming down into our number 10 spot, this is Deadshot Dealer. It is literally Deadshot Daiquiri, but you add a little bit of damage to it. Now, personally, I think that the Infinite Warfare version is the best version of this perk, Deadeye Dewdrops. Now, I know no one knows what that is because it was on, like, the second worst map of all time, Kung Fu Subway Sandwich. So anyways, Deadshot Dealer, for those who don't know, it is basically Deadshot Daiquiri, but you get a little bit more damage for the more continuous headshots you get. Seems like a great idea at first, right? It seems like a good idea on paper, but no! You always get that one zombie, that one fucking zombie that doesn't want to be shot in the head, and you lose that entire buff. It's so goddamn annoying. Oh my god. So anyways, that's why Deadshot Dealer comes in at number 10. Number 9, we have Zombshell, and this perk doesn't make any sense. It is Vulturade, one of the best perks of all time. Spoilers for the next video. One component of Vulturade, and makes it worse. So anyways, if you don't know what Zombshell does, basically the basic version, when you kill a zombie, it leaves behind this little field, and when zombies go through that field, they slow down. Only reason this perk isn't higher on the list is because of the modifier version, where when you stand in that orb, you actually become invisible from the zombies, which can be pretty useful at times, but most of the time it's Black Ops 4 Zombies. When the fuck are you gonna need to use that, you know? Black Ops 4 Zombies is it's like Exo Zombies without jetpacks. So anyways, Zombshell comes in at number 9. Coming down into the number 8 spot, we have Blaze Phase. Now, what the fuck is this perk? When did this get introduced? I do not remember when this got introduced. It's sometime in the later half of the Black Ops 4 life cycle, obviously. But, you know, like, what the fuck? What is this perk even supposed to do? When is this perk supposed to be helpful? When you're camping? The thing about this perk is that I guess it's meant for escaping camping spots, like if you get in trouble. But the thing is, there are already a lot better camping perks in this game, you know? There's a lot more useful perks that you can use to camp in Black Ops 4. If Black Ops 4 didn't have things like Stone Cold Stronghold, Dying Wish, Victorious Tortoise, maybe this might be useful on its own, but like in the vacuum of Black Ops 4, this perk is useless, right? I didn't even get into what this perk does. What this perk does is that if you crouch, oh my god, how does it work? If you crouch and then hold the square button, you charge up like fucking Dragon Ball, and then when you release the button, you just go like blazing across like an entire football field. It's infinite. Like if you go on Tag or Totem, you can go across like the entire map basically. Anyways, Blaze Phase, number 8 spot. Number 7, the cousin, the OG Deadshot Daiquiri. Now this is Deadshot Dealer, but without the modifying perks of it, so it comes in slightly higher on the worst list. Now all this does is that it just aims your crosshairs at the zombies' heads. Now the thing about this perk is that it is not really on any maps where that would be useful aiming towards the head. Because if you're going for high rounds on, say, Mob of the Dead, you're going to get every other perk other than Deadshot Daiquiri. When the fuck are you going to need Deadshot Daiquiri on Mob of the Dead? For aiming at the warden's head? The thing, it's not on any maps where it would be useful on its own, and then when there are maps where it could be useful, there are far better perks. It is just useless. It does nothing on PC. Let's just get that straight, right? It what? Tightens your crosshairs a little bit? Anyways, Deadshot Daiquiri, the OG, coming in at number 7. Coming down into the number 6 slot, we have goddamn Double Tap 1, right? Double Tap 1, this is the Black Ops 1 version and the World of War version of Double Tap. So don't come and hunt me if you like Double Tap is the greatest perk of all time. You are wrong, you will die. Right? You know, I'm gonna fuck my wife's boyfriend, okay? I'm gonna do it right now. Now, the reason why Double Tap 1 is so bad, if you don't already know, if you do know, you know why. It just doubles your rate of fire, which... What? It doubles your rate of fire. That's it. So, especially on high rounds on Black Ops 1 maps, why use this perk, right? It's so useless. It's not an Ascension, which is useless anyway, because it doesn't affect the Thunder Gun at all. That's the only way you get to high rounds on Black Ops 1 Ascension, at least. It's just Double Tap doesn't affect Wonder Weapons, right? It just, I don't even know if it affects their rate of fire. I don't even know that. But Double Tap 1, it's just, you get the perk, and then you spray all your bullets, and then you're like, wait, I thought I had ammo 2 seconds ago, right? It just doubles your rate of fire. It's useless, right? You just kill the zombies at a slightly faster damage per second, right? So, Double Tap 1, useless perk in the games it was. Double Tap 2, however, oh, that's coming down into the number 5 spot. We have, and it pains me to say this, it pains me, we have PhD. Hold up. PhD Slider. Good God, what a bad perk. How hard was it to combine in Infinite Warfare? If you just combined Bomb Stoppers and Trailblazers, you would have had PhD Slider. What would have been wrong with that? So anyways, this perk is just on a whole nother level of stupid from on Treyarch's part, right? If you guys don't remember, when Black Ops 4 first launched, PhD Slider did not make you immune to explosive weapons. Instead, you took like, what was it, 25% of the damage from the weapon? So like, instead of taking the full 100%, you just take 25% of that damage that you would normally receive. Fucking useless. Now PhD Slider is somewhat okay in the scope of Black Ops 4. It only comes in useful when you don't have it in your perk slot. So if you guys don't know Black Ops 4, you pick your perks beforehand. You cannot pick them in-game. So if you pick 4 perks that you think will be better use for general play, because you know your RNG has been bad from the mystery box, you can't get the fucking Helion Salvo for your goddamn life, and then what do? You load into a game without PhD, you get the Helion Salvo. And then that doesn't even ignore the fact that the sliding mechanic of the perk is so awful. It is, oh my god, how hard would it have been to, like, if you guys know how Trailblazers works in Infinite Warfare, just do that. Why did you have to do it? So you have, every time you slide, it charges the perk. It's a chargeable perk. Why? So you charge the perk, and then the explosive blast you leave behind when you finally get the perk fully charged does nothing past round fucking 10. It does nothing. It's just, and half the time the perk doesn't even work. You know, when you're fucking... So how it works is that when you have your fully charged slide, it only procs when you slide into a zombie. Half the time, when you slide into a zombie, it doesn't even work. It's just you kill yourself because you expect the perk to work, but it doesn't. What the fuck? So anyways, PhD slider, number 5. Number 4 is meal kick. More specifically, any meal kick that isn't the Black Ops 4 modifier. Now, if you don't know what the modifier is, when you rebuy the perk, you get that weapon back. So that's how the modifier in Black Ops 4 is how the perk should have worked this whole damn time. Oh my god. Anyways, if you guys don't know, meal kick is 4,000 points. It is 4,000 points. That's a lot. And when would you need meal kick? When are the 2 situations you would actually need meal kick? Number 1. Actually, there's 3. Number 1 is early game. If you run out of ammo on both your 2 primary weapons, you can switch to your meal kick weapon, and then you still have a little bit of ammo. So that's kind of when it would be useful. But again, it's early game. Why the fuck would you spend 4,000 points on a perk that you would only need in early game? The second use is on any map such as Origins and Horizon Rock, where the wonder weapons are free to pick up. So it's actually not a bad idea to go on Horizon Rock, buy 2 weapons, fully upgrade them, buy meal kick, and then get your bow. That is not a bad strategy. However, in reality, when you down on Horizon Rock and you don't have your bow anymore, you are fucked. You are fucked all the way to hell. And the third use is when you're on high rounds and you need a third weapon to continue your ammo. Kind of the same reason as the early game reason, but this really only works in Black Ops 3 because you can just pop a Perkaholic and you're guaranteed to have meal kick on every fucking map for some reason. So anyways, it's a good idea to run a Perkaholic or at least meal kick on Black Ops 3 high rounds because you can have 1 weapon for Deadwire and then another weapon for either Turned or Blast Furnace. So it's actually pretty useful there. And then of course you have your wonder weapon, right? So anyways, meal kick is just a weapon that screws you in the long run, coming in at number 4. Number 3 is... Good God, what a bad perk. It's such a good idea in concept. Like, the concept of Who's Who is pretty good. Like, if you wrote it down on paper, it would actually be pretty good. And I could see how it got past, like, the planning phase. However, what no one fails to explain when you're describing the perk to them is that you can only use your starting pistol. You spawn in with your starting pistol. Let me paint you a scenario. You are on Die Rise, and you are on, let's say, round 30, and you misfire one of your Slickfire shots. What now? You get overrun by zombies, and then you get into your Who's Who, and you spawn a fair bits away in your Who's Who mode, and you think, okay, let me get a second chance. Where's my weapon to fight the zombies? M1911 on round 30, unironically. Lamau! Anyways, the only reason this perk is anywhere near a % of useful is because if you accidentally fall off the map in Die Rise, you kind of get a second chance there. It's so stupid. It's just such simple changes. You can either make it where in Afterlife mode, like in Mob of the Dead, you're set the next map that came out right after Die Rise. You had Afterlife mode where all the zombies ignored you, right? All the zombies could ignore you, but or you could have it so you spawn in with your current weapon loadout. Why do you start with a pistol? Why do you have a pistol when you spawn into Who's Who mode? It never makes any sense. Anyways, Who's Who, number 3. Coming in at number 2, you know the jingle. It is the most iconic perk jingle ever. It is... Rest in pieces. Yep, yep. Tomb fucking stone. This, ugh. It pains me to say this because Tombstone, once again, just like Who's Who, is such a good idea on paper, but it's on the worst map you could possibly have put it on. Transit, which is the size of the state I live in, is fucking massive. Like, why have this perk on Transit but nothing else, right? It's such a good idea. Like, if you were on Buried, for say, and you had Tombstone, that'd be actually pretty cool, because Tombstone is a close quarters map, right? Right. And the second thing is, this perk can literally only be used on co-op. You cannot buy it on solo. Why? I don't know. So I probably don't even have footage for it. If I do have footage for it, it's probably modded, right? So anyways, Tombstone, if you use the perk, you know how bad it is. The only way Tombstone is good is because you can get more than 4 perks on town. That is it, but that is a glitch, so it doesn't count. So that's why Tombstone is at number 2. Coming in, the number 1 spot. You thought it was Tombstone, right? You thought it was Tombstone? You're wrong. You didn't play the game then. You didn't play the game. You know what's at number 1 if I say it out loud. Death Perception. What the fuck is this perk? It is a noob's perk. It is the ultimate, I don't have headphones in, I can't hear, I'm deaf perk. Now, I'm sure it's actually good if you are literally deaf, or you literally can't hear, or like see or anything, and you need a giant red thing to tell you where the zombies are. Let me tell you something. This was actually supposed to be a gobblegum in Black Ops 3. A gobblegum. That is a gobblegum, and it is not a permanent perk that you have for the rest of the game. It is a gobblegum that only lasts for a couple minutes, or a round, or whatever the fuck it was gonna be. But it was there. It was in the game files when the Black Ops 3 came out. It was there. You can look it up. Why this perk exists is beyond me, other than to assist, like, people with disabilities. Literally. And that literally could have just been an option or a setting in the game, just like colorblind mode, right? Death Perception is colorblind mode for people who can't hear. Capiche? And then you have the weird-ass argument that Death Perception is good because of its modifier. Fuck the modifier. It does nothing, right? The modifier is a liar. You do not do a significantly that much more damage to the Blightfather to convince me that I need to use that instead of something like Quick Revive or Time Slip or any other fucking modifier that I would normally use, right? Because a lot of them are actually really good. This is like saying Victorious Tortoise, which is actually a good perk, this is like saying that modifier is far above using anything else. The modifier does nothing except on a couple maps. And right, here's the thing. You tell me when the Death Perception modifier is good, play it on fucking Tagged or Totem. There is nothing useful about the Death Perception modifier. Absolutely nothing, right? So anyways, guys, Death Perception comes in at number 1. Thank you for fucking watching me. I hate you all. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you don't subscribe, I'll kill you. If you don't like the video, I'll kill you. If you dislike the video, I won't kill you. Anyways, guys, this has been the top 10 worst perks of all time.